are now not live, but I'm recording. Let's go. Welcome to session 15, everybody. I have a
Yeah.
simple question to begin. Before we begin, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I guess.
Oh, you guess? Huh. Making emoji. Okay. So whatever.
Big dead worm. That was the last thing I remember.
Oh, there's a
He
handful.
went into the crater on the island where the Temple of Mistra had apparently been launched.
Yes. Let me compose myself because I saw something. I saw another edit. Okay. So last we left off, you met up with an expert, who is actually the expert on the beetles that you're trying to find the species of the beetle. She knows of the place where they might be, as there apparently some sort of wish-granting beetle. There are located in an isolated island at the south east part of the world, surrounded by sea, inhabited by wyverns, and below apparently inhabitant to most vile drow imaginable. With the wood dragon, you traverse there quite early, before even the sun rose up over the horizon. You, found a massive worm carcass in one of the valleys in the island that you flew by, and then just kind of looked for a safe place to land and, I guess begin your search for the beetle, and also preparing for any drows that might attack or ambush you. You found a place that was a bit unusual than the rest. An explosion site that only remnants were a marble structure that was blown to smithereens. After a little bit of investigation, something along the lines of the planet seas and something along the lines of the heroes that are now legends on the world took steps on this island on their own little adventure for whatever reason. And, you found that there was a pathway below the chamber that was basically hidden by this explosion, covered in dirt and, gravel. Digging it out, the cavern opened into a massive crevice that you can wander down, and you did find not ancient, but a dead drow skeleton in black plate armor. You asked of it questions, and you were told that this drow was defending its home from a slave turned tyrant, a kobold turned dragon. And, that's where we left off. As you figured out that you want to venture deeper into the crevice, into unknown, to figure out what lies below. So, with that being said and done, simple questions. Who goes first? What's your marching order, and etc. etc.
I'm going first.
I'm going second.
I'm going next. That
And then the
means
Grimclaw goes
is left.
four.
Yep.
And then your drow companion is fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. It is basically a massive dirt and gravel hole that doesn't really have any, rocky stable structure. It seems to be just like a sinkhole that leads into darkness. You could slide down, or you could try to just slowly but surely, I guess, make your way. Question is, how would you prefer? Sliding down or...
Well, that depends on the first person who goes down. I can't slide if he's still standing there. I mean, I could, I suppose, but
Yeah, I'll slide.
yeah, then I'll slide too.
Slide until it starts hurting.
Right. So, okay, since you're all bold, I would like every single one of you, except for the Drow, because the Drow is a bit cautious. I would like all of you to roll me a dexterity saving throw. As you slide in this, well, a bit like nice, dry mud, but then also coarse gravel, for about 60-70 feet.
Oh,
And then the sudden sensation that ahead is very much blank and void of any more.
Reroll that.
thank you.
Huh.
Would my danger sense give me advantage?
Yes, it would.
So, what do I need to roll again?
Dexterity
Dexterity
save.
save.
Yes. As you slid into the darkness.
Dexterity save. Oh, that's standard for me. Huh,
Okay.
I'll take it.
Uh.
I'm with Lester.
Yeah. You all slide, and well,
Wait. Don't our Drow companion has to roll?
no, she did not slide. She just you all slide. She said she's here to collect bugs, not to follow you.
Uh-huh.
She's following you. She's not gonna follow you. She's very cautious. Anyway, you take a joyride for about 8 to 10 seconds until, well, Kaylee's, you're the first one to spot that the sudden ride ends into the void, and you stop yourself with ease, and so do all of you. Although for Grimcloak and Blister, you're a bit too uncomfortable to the edge, where you look down, you feel a slight a current of air, stream of air kind of going upwards from below, and you can hear a very weak sound of rushing water. But looking down, you basically see darkness as well. You don't know for how much. Just looks like just a dead drop.
Well then. That's good thing we didn't miss.
You look to your sides and you do realize that it is kind of dead end going up the slope back to the surface. It's not exactly an easy task because of the angle, but it is manageable. But you are basically have like a 50-60 feet of like a area around the sudden drop off into unknown. So how would you like to proceed?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Into the unknown.
the pathways are a sheer drop into darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and anything else?
It's either going downwards, either by jumping or other means, or going back up. Besides that, the only thing all of you can see with your dark visions is just the glimpses of the light from where you came and absolute darkness of void everywhere else.
Hmm.
What's magic awareness saying?
Nothing. But
Nothing.
by all means, it's yeah. It's,
Grim, could we see how deep this crevice is?
There is a way. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. I would like to just. What can I do? Yeah, okay. I would like to take a piece of. There's enough little rocks nearby, right?
yes.
Okay. We take a small piece of rock and hold up. A little bit too small. And I decide to make it a giant snowball using. What should I use? Yeah, okay. Sinnoh snowball swarm, but more focused on just one giant snowball.
Mm-hmm.
I'll burn spell stuff for that.
Okay.
It's like this will do, and I toss it down into the void, and then I listen to when it drops into. If it drops into the water, I think I see.
Okay. You chuck it. You wait. 8-9 seconds pass, and you all can hear a very faint but very eligible plump sound as something heavy hits the water, and a bunch of splattering occurs moments after, and then you can all hear a faint water rushing sound below as before.
It is definitely a very long way down.
Do you think
And
it's
there's
worth it?
we do not know if our goal is down there or maybe down a different path. That is the current conundrum. All we know that down there is a river that will sweep us maybe further away from our goal.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh.
it's the only way, right?
We aren't sure. We might have to go back up to see if there's another route somewhere nearby. After all, if these Drow folk can go up and down, there has to be a safer path somehow.
Or maybe they just fly down.
Only a few Drow can do that, as far as I know. I kind of glance to our guide to see if they can.
They're
confirm
still
with
up there,
me.
so they're not with us.
Oh,
You glance upwards.
You can see the Drow eyeing all of you, seeing as you're having a discussion basically by the edge.
there is one way to figure out if it is the correct way.
Time to head back up.
Or jump down.
Shall we risk it?
You know what, Araxes?
Hmm?
There's still some area around the cave that I can see, right?
Yes, looking upwards, you do see.
Do I see cobwebs?
Uh, in this area, no.
Okay, so I know at least that much. Thank you. Hmm. I honestly doubt that this is the way. It might be a way down, but definitely not the best way down.
I mean, with our schedule, I don't know if we can be very picky.
Hmm.
If this is a way down, then I guess we should use it.
If there only was a dead bird of some sort here.
She kind of looks at you. What would you need a dead bird for?
Scouting.
I mean,
Could
not dead, but I might be able to help with that. Give a little whistle. And my bird comes in. Little owl.
No, kill it.
we forgot that Bluster has a familiar?
Yeah.
Because I haven't really had the need for it, have I?
Yeah.
True.
It's like I knew and I sort of hinted at it. No, I totally no, I actually did. No, I just did a silly thing and it paid off.
Yep. So my owl's going to make is going to fly down into the hole and do a little bit of scouting
The hole.
down the hole.
I'm not pressing the button.
Good. So you make your way, or your bird, more specifically, makes your way down. Does it have any source of light or illumination, or just nothing?
It does not.
Hmm.
Unless somebody attaches like some sort of light to it. But it does have dark vision.
But
See.
I don't know if that would work. I mean, if I would cast minor illusion on the bird to make it like glow in the dark, I don't know if that would work.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
Things that glow in the dark die quickly. In the dark. We want information. We don't want them to die quickly.
Hey. So your bird goes down. You can hear the flaps become distant and distant. Question, Blister. How does it perceive information to you?
Well, that's a very give me just a second here. Gotta double check that.
I believe it just like you can look through its eyes.
To a certain point, yes.
What's the distance for it?
Give me a second. Sorry, just had to use this so. While within 100 feet of you, can telepathically communicate. Yeah, within 100 feet, I can do stuff with it unless I'm using sending to it
Well,
afterwards.
after a good few seconds, you lose communication with your owl. You can still hear the flapping of the thing. So it is deeper than 100 feet from your perspective.
Mhm. Hmm.
Yeah. After a good minute and a half, the bird returns triumphantly beside you, Blister.
And then I ask if it saw anything.
It does not say to you anything, but it almost gives you a sudden fast-paced uh revision of his own perspective. You see that he mate, like he flew quite a bit down, about 300 350 feet down, eventually made it to a shallow river that is littered with bodies. Well, not bodies, bones. And by the way, some of those bones look with their plated armor. You assume those are the Drow. Additionally, at the bottom of the river, the shallow river, there are massive footprints that would reminisce someone akin to an adult dragon, maybe even a bit older than an adult.
Hmm.
Besides that, there were also a lot of signs of electrical burns on the stone and fire damage as well. And besides that, there seem to be a few passageways, mainly the one that goes, well, against the stream, that leads into basically a small chiseled out tunnel, and going with the river, there is this, well, just an opening that is, well, quite wide, seeing as it took your bird several hundred feet to go down.
See. What's that? Oh, I mean, it looks and seems like everything's dead down there from this area. So if there's any place to enter, it would be here to go unnoticed.
Any sign of a beetle?
Not that I've seen.
No, your owl did not see any critters, more specifically beetles.
But we're probably on the right track.
I think it would be best
Yeah.
to go unnoticed.
Yeah, there is something we do have to get watch out for potentially. Don't know if it's still here or not. But there is what appears to be a dragon footprint.
Dragon.
Kayla's kind of shrugs. Are we all on the same page with this?
Not
I'd say so.
quite. Not quite. as I said, if there's no beetle down there, why should we even make the jump? But if it's
Because
the only
a bit further
way,
down.
well, I'm not certain. But I see no alternatives. Let's at least inform our companion of our plans.
That would be preferable.
So,
We'll wait for our expert to come down before we tell him, hey, so here's the thing.
well, after you just kind of look at the Drow girl and just wait for an answer, she very not casually, she with great caution goes down, looks
Yes,
at the
we are.
darkness, and then looks at you with a bit of curiosity and more like an explanation, maybe.
We're asking, it's like, well, would the beetle be further down?
She thinks for a sec. Drugs, maybe. I mean, could be, could not be. I know the location, I don't exactly know where they are. If they truly grant wishes, you'd assume either they've been already hunted, gathered somewhere, or, well, they're just that good at hiding. Scale's
I
just
wish-
gonna Scale's just gonna fucking just jump, just fucking.
Into the unknown once again.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sing women.
Boy, the Freebird solo is playing.
Oh, it's Dream On.
So,
Oh boy.
what's the plan?
Jump in.
I was gonna say, last time to either go commit or wuss out, guys.
Commit in the most literal way.
Then we commit, but we have to inform our girlfriend that we're going down the hole and that they might be by themselves, so they're gonna be okay.
If we are. Let's see here.
I say we go down.
I agree.
As a player, lol, we go down. As the character, there has to be another way. But,
As a character,
he's-
you're outnumbered.
that's the problem, yeah. So he's not gonna do it. But we should still inform our companion what we're gonna do and if they're coming along or if they're staying up here.
She's gonna look at the void. I wanna see her. Oh, hold up a second. What is she's gonna do? She looks down at the void. And mind you, you didn't even tell how deep it is. She just takes a step back and just goes, fine. And then just leaps off.
Oh crap, I'm going after.
Alright, well, I pull out a feather, start jumping.
Down we
I-
go.
Yeah, look back
And-
once and then sigh, jump too.
As soon as
This is literally,
yeah,
this is
make
like
sure everybody's close to me. Because
is-
as soon as we get to the very end, I cast Feather Fall.
this is so very much like first jump into the lake moment with a group. Like everybody's waiting for that one guy. As soon as he jumps, everybody's jumping. Funnily enough, okay, so well, okay. Question: how much time? Like, what would you wait? Because remember, you're in utter darkness. You don't exactly have like a measurement of yes, 20 feet, and I'll use the spell.
Well, I counted the seconds that it took for the rock to hit.
Yes. So give me precise. Give me the precise second when you're gonna pop it.
You do. Yeah, my character remembers, but I don't.
It's 10 seconds.
Is it 10 seconds?
Yeah.
All right. Well then. Oh wait, is that? Oh, duration's a minute. Heh. I'm gonna cast it as soon as I can.
Oh,
As
so
soon as everybody's off. Pretty much just.
yeah.
Pretty
So
much as soon as everybody's off the
platform.
platform, I
Okay.
cast that so we all slowly descend.
Okay. Well. well.
Wasn't that high.
Well. You. Well. You all jump off, and well, since the Drow fell off first, you all of a sudden hear a very awkward splash with a bunch of clangs below, but no sound of the Drow.
Ah, crap doodles.
As you descend down after a few seconds, you see a sudden light gain purchase at the very bottom. As you see the Drow is basically knee deep in the actual water with a torch out looking around. Then looks up. She doesn't see you by the looks of it. She's looking around at the sky. But you can see her because she is the sole source of light. As she yells out, "You're coming down or what?"
Well, we're probably down, so we're already going down.
I mean, yeah, but she left first. She doesn't know if you followed. She just kind of
Give us a moment.
eh.
Give us a moment. We're already going down.
There is no response from her, but you can see she's trying slowly to climb out of. The way the water shines, you basically see that there is at least 2 or maybe even 3 bodies that are now turned into basically bone, stacked in the river that she's just walking on top. Occasionally, you can hear her basically snapping bones underwater when you get closer and closer from the top. And eventually, you all glide down to the bottom with 6 seconds to spare. You do see the water. It is rushing. By the way, it looks from the north to the south. And yeah, you basically, if you look to the north, there is like 40 feet of this massive open area until you see there is an actual very well sculpted pathway, although very old and not very much used by the way mold has set in the stone. And well, if you look south, basically it is void, but at least you have a pathway, and of course you have the river to guide you somewhat. Of course, you can look at your Drow Tupi, well, she does seem to look at the ground, seems to look at dust at the walls. She gets closer to them, clearly looking for, you assume, beetles.
What's the most recent thing that came through here?
If anybody else want to roll for that, you can roll investigation.
I just want to find the dragon
Can I
remains.
roll
So
survival.
Yeah, sure. Survival or investigation.
Is that an investigation? I will roll. Well, that's a 12. Average.
Nihilim's
Yeah.
away from keyboard right now, so.
Goddamn.
Highest is Bluster's 17.
Well, quickly looking around, the river is packed with bodies, young and small. Some bones are barely their former self, most of them missing many of its original pieces, but the big skeletal bones, legs, skulls, still haven't fully decayed in the water. Probably like a good 100 or so bodies in the riverbed. And by the way it looks, everything is coated away from the river in either moss, mold, or just dust. And observing all three sources, you see that there have been no footprints of large humanoids, or even critters or small beasts. However, you do see, as aforementioned, massive bends in the rock floor, as there are massive dragon footprints. Although it's very weird, Bluster, as you examine them. By the way it looks like this dragon is relatively big, definitely an adult, maybe a bit bigger. You notice that its front left leg is about maybe 20-30% bigger than the other two legs. As you also notice, by the way it walked, by the way it made impact into the ground, you see that its back left foot is either missing, like it was just a three-legged dragon, or maybe got snared, destroyed, or just didn't use it with enough strength to make an impact. And that dragon seems to clearly go south, as it doesn't seem to have touched the pathway that leads north, that is narrow. You assume by the dragon prince, well, too big to just walk in to this pathway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, dragon went that way, not that way. I'm sure go. I suggest we go the latter.
I
Um,
disagree.
Oh, so
And why?
Kalis kind of leans down to look at the dragon prince. For one thing, judging by the pattern of the footprints, the dragon is likely injured. Whatever injured it would be in the way they came from. Would it not?
You want to go towards the thing that screwed over the dragon?
No, I want to go towards the dragon.
considering what we know of our objective, going after the dragon is probably the most viable option, as they might know more about our targets.
He thinks about it for a moment.
My instinct tells me that the direction the dragon went is likely our best chance for information. It could be wrong, it's been wrong before.
I mean, it kind of does make sense. We can always figure it out once we get there. Oh. We're trying to
Welcome
figure
to
out if
England.
we're following the giant dragon prince or going the other direction.
Ah. How giant are we talking?
Just over adult.
So bigger
At the
than our
very least.
current dragon friend.
Oh, yeah, you have actually a void dragon to compare, even though he's not here.
She.
Well, she, because you left it on the surface for some reason. So, but the way it looks, compared to how its foot looked compared to the prints in the stone, you'd say almost twice as big. Yes.
That's
A lot. Well, I say we should follow it.
It might be a bit risky, but at this point, the safe route hasn't brought. We didn't take the safe route to begin with, so we might as well keep going.
Exactly.
all right. So I guess we're going to go in the direction, going to go south then.
Didn't Dragon went north? Oh no, he went south. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
never
so-
mind.
It went south.
Then we're
North
going
is the way.
south.
Onwards to dragons.
Right. Okay.
Wait, does the
Question.
Drow companion follow us, or do they go their own way?
No, no,
Because
no.
we did mention.
The Drow is next to you. She's being quite close to you and listening to your conversation, but also inspecting the walls, inspecting the floor, trying to see if she can find what you assume is whatever Belis may leave or just traces of them. But yeah, as you head south, a question, because the cavern in the place you're at is very wide. It's not exactly balanced, like equal when it comes. If the river was the center, it could be 90 feet wide, could be 100, 200 at some points. Would you be basically by the river walking south, or would you be by one of the walls, or maybe in between?
I think I know what I'm gonna say. We don't know that yet because we're going following the tracks. So I guess whatever the tracks are doing.
Oh, so you just following straight on tracks?
I would say so.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's probably what
Trying to keep-
Kalis is doing because he's the one who is able to follow the tracks. So we're probably following Kalis following the tracks.
Yep.
So, can Kalius roll me an investigation with advantage? And yeah, one of you could roll me a d10.
Can I do it?
Go ahead. You volunteer to tribute. So your fate is in our hands.
Sorry. I dropped it.
Drop it. Pew, 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 pew.
Drop it like it's out.
2 doesn't have to be bad, by the way. But we'll see.
18 is
Yeah.
the investigation.
Yes. So you notice two things about the footprints, Kalius. Well, besides the fact that they're also like kind of pressed into stone, which would require insane amounts of strength. You notice that the front left foot that you notice at the beginning was, bigger than the other 2 feet. It seems to be changing sizes in the stone. Every 5-6 steps where you indicated it's the left foot that does it. Its size becomes wider, thinner, smaller, bigger. An awkward change. But also notice that you have that instinctual that it might be limping, it might be injured, but you also notice that there is no blood anywhere. Wet, dried, or anything in between. So 2. Let's see. What will 2 give you? So, hold on a second. Change me.
Woo! It's a music change.
Start.
Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Absolute bastard.
The bot's an absolute bastard.
No. Fate is an absolute bastard, and you'll figure out why.
Aww. Gosh dang it, I worked hard on this character.
Ew. So, Kalius, because you are the first, you wander, and you do keep track on the foots. All of you wander around to figure out to see if you find anything of interest. using your passive insights, investigations, and all that. You really don't find anything, and you are going down southbound for a good 10-15 minutes. However, Kalius, you notice something very odd about the footprints that you're tracing. You eventually realize that there are these chunks, stalagmites, that seem to be formed around the feet, around where the imprint is made. And for a few, for a good few minutes, it's just probably just some humidity, something, and makes these. But then you realize those stalagmites become bigger and bigger, and then you realize the other limbs of the creature that were wandering south start to also change in their sizes, and the stalagmites become immensely bigger, to the point that you realize that they're not stalagmites, but draconic scaled made stone. But the way it looks for all of you is that at first scales as small as your fingernails, but then as big as your entire chest areas, seem to have slid off the dragon as it was wandering, impacted the ground, covered in something, and it basically became this capsulated piece of stone. You can break it off with ease, these scales, but they are brittle and stone-like. Whatever the draconic scale was, you have no clue. However, it takes you about 20 minutes until the sudden sensation of darkness starts to fade away as you see mushrooms, grasses of green and yellow coloration that seem to be glowing in the dark, illuminate your path forward. As eventually, about 20 minutes in, you can see a massive subterranean level. What seems to be plains of these yellowish grasses as far as the eye can see below. Above, sprouts of orange and blue fungi on the ceiling. But of course there's another ledge. It seems to, it seems to just go down, and the water goes into a waterfall.
Do the footprints seem to be shifting to a specific shape, or?
No, they seem to, like,
Just
imagine
fluctuating in size.
yes. However, you do find something at the bottom. There is a lake at the base where the waterfall lands. It doesn't seem to sprout out anywhere. Although, you do see, with passive perception, all of you, that where the yellow grass illuminated by the night and the pond from the waterfall, you see an amalgamation laying at the shore. Its bottom half looks like something looks like a massive dragon was cut in half. It's everything from the belly below, more brittle, stone-like, and well, dead. It looks like a skeleton, but the upper body seems to resemble a tiny kobold. Hands stretched out towards the grass. And what you do notice, in fact, which is the cruelest fate, is you can see that the hands are still digging up to this day into the ground, trying to move the earth towards it. The drop is about 100-something feet. You don't know how deep the pond is where this stream of water ends, where the pond begins. And yeah, you see that there is this amalgamation by the shore.
Did you say the front half was still like moving, or?
Yes, the front half is still moving. While the other half, which is basically half of a body of a adult dragon, is submerged in water, and you can see through it as it's basically bone. And you see also stone. So
Do not touch the water. Is it like, is the bottom half, is it the only part that's submerged underwater?
no, there's bits of it that is above water. But
Okay, so
basically,
it doesn't seem like the water is what is causing it to be this stone,
no.
or okay. Do I see a quick way down?
You look around, it is a drop. However, there are plenty of stones that you don't know if were positioned by the Drow or by natural formation. It seemed to be, well, stepping stones that could just lead you down into this yellow plain, and would put you relatively close to the pond.
Okay.
I'm going to pick up Lester and head down there.
Here we go. Okay.
So, I assume all of you take the convenient stone, not well, stepping stones down.
Yep.
I'll do.
22 stones later, you hit your feet into the yellow grass. It slightly fades in coloration as it gets trampled on, but once you step off, it seems to regain its light. And yeah, as far as the eye can see, it is plains of yellow grass with occasional purplish and red mixed in, and at the top you basically assume 400 feet is the ceiling, with mushrooms and other grasses also present. So, of course, immediately as the Drow gets down, she immediately starts to pluck these grasses and puts into vials and puts into these neat little wooden boxes that she pulls out of the bag of holding, scribbling notes on in quick succession.
Okay. Then we are closer to we're at the lake level, right? Technically.
Yes, you are. To the lake, to the pond, it's about, well, 60, 70 feet. And yeah, you do see and you can hear sounds that would resemble scratching.
Then I'm gonna head over there.
Yeah, that's where I'm specifically heading Blester towards as well.
Yeah. So, takes you a few seconds to approach. That you. It's hard to explain how. Imagine a polymorph going wrong, where one side of your body turns into a beast and another to resembling your own self. Well, basically up to its rib cage, from head to the rib cage, you see a great scaled kobold. Its eye sockets are empty. Its mouth occasionally opens and closes. Its head is pushed to the ground, and you see its fingers would be a bit too much to say. They're like skeletal forks shoving dirt towards the kobold, although the motion barely pushes any dirt at all.
Okay. Is this? Can I? Oh.
Go ahead, Grim.
Can I discern that this is a form of rigor mortis, or is there some will in that body?
Arcana or religion?
Let's see what I can do better. That's gonna be an Arcana. A surprise. Actually, both are equally the same, but I want to do Arcana because I think Arcana makes more sense in this case. 18.
You look at it. You look at this creature. By all means, this creature is about 2.5 feet of kobold and about 32 feet of disintegrated, stonified, destroyed dragon. It is not rigor mortis. It is some sort of either magic lingering in this creature that makes it, well, do motion, or it is literally the will of whatever this kobold is or was that keeps on going.
Okay. Then I will say this. The movement is not natural. It is some sort of magic. Perhaps the will of the being.
So, like a soul possessing a corpse.
Indeed.
Not
Hmm.
truly dead, not truly alive either.
I would say it is constantly lingering between the gates of death and the living. Not undead per se, but more a cruel form of immortality.
You said that its hands were pushing dirt towards itself or pulling dirt towards itself.
Yes. Also, why suddenly you became so quiet?
I became quieter?
Yes.
Sorry. Let me check if I can fix that.
Sorry for that.
How's that?
Better.
Okay. So, was it trying to crawl, or is it trying to pile dirt over itself?
It seems to You can roll me a religion, insight, or a d20.
What'd you roll?
28. Insight.
This creature is a dead fish. It has no right to live anymore. That is clear to see. However, whatever the soul the kobold possessed, or whatever soul this kobold has, does not wish to die. And you ponder why. You look around. You think on everything. And then something strikes you in the fields as you look around. You realize there was a carnage with the Drows. Kobold that was a slave turned tyrant. It did its deed, it destroyed its slavers, and it tried to reach home. It tried, and it seems to be trying to crawl. Its soul tries to crawl into, well, back home, into the yellow grasses. But because of its body being deformed and heavy in the water, no longer responsive, it's been just crawling, trying to crawl and trying to dig its way further in, wants to finish its journey home.
Would it fall apart if I tried to pull it along?
You don't know what would happen, honestly. I mean, if you wanna try to shove the kobold and its entirety of bone mass onto the field, you can try.
Kalis is kind of kneeling down beside the kobold's head, kind of following its where it's facing as he figures this out. Before going towards basically the point where the kobold and the the two halves meet,
Mm-hmm.
and he speaks aloud and says, "Your journey has been long. Rest a moment." And Kalis is going to try and half
Sever.
lift, half pull the body from the lake towards the field of grass.
You gonna try to pull the entirety of the body?
Yep.
Roll me a strength check. Anybody wants to help?
With
Yeah,
athletics.
I'm going to help.
Gonna help. Even though my strength is actually decent. So-
Yeah.
Can I use athletics?
Sure. Sure. I don't have anything to show because I didn't expect that he's gonna be still alive.
Well, it's fine if he wasn't going to be alive. We have a necromancer.
No, you don't get.
But
Well,
since it's alive,
I
I
don't
can't
help
do
a
it.
lot.
You rolled a 20.
As expected of a barbarian, a wizard, and a bard all trying to lift something. The
I'll see,
barbarian
what-
does most of the lifting.
Okay.
Let's see what the other
I
wizard
am
does.
mentally encouraging you.
The wizard did a
You
16.
can do it.
Yeah.
The cheerleader on the
so-
side.
Is it just it's just a strict strength?
Yeah.
Right?
Or athletics.
that's literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, for me it's the same thing. So it's like, yay, Blaster, we're in the same range.
So,
Yeah.
as you try to push the bones in onto the actual grass, you can hear a sudden crack as somewhere in the kobold spine something breaks off and the body gets detached in two parts: the kobold and the dragon. As it does, the dragon bones start to sink into the water and they seem to kind of just slide into the pond, while the kobold seems to reach out its hand again into the dirt, and then you can see its body is actually dragging itself into the grass. It drags itself into the grass. Question. I know you're pulling. Seeing as it's able to pull its own weight, would you let go or would you just continue?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep helping.
Since the body is split and it's now just basically half a kobold, Kalis will just kind of lift it up and walk it into the grass.
As you pick it up, you realize the kobold's body is hollow. You realize there is gray dead scales that have been expired a long time ago. Its insides have rotted out completely. There's only his bone structure and his scales. However, as you pick it up and move towards when you move towards the yellow grasses, the demeanor of the kobold suddenly changes from a grasping motion towards, well, the air to a sudden grip onto your shoulder. It grips one of its, well, claw-like hands and kind of firmly positions itself. And then you can see, even though it is fully dead, it seems to do a motion that would mimic breathing. And when it suddenly looks at you with its hollow eyes, you hear a voice, a faint voice. Kind you are. Kind.
I am not a kind man, but I am someone who has walked a long road. And every traveler needs a rest.
It suddenly looks with quite a difficulty into the horizon, and you can hear a faint, another voice, well, the same voice in your head. Home. I'm home.
It indeed you are.
You can hear You can hear Kalius, the kobold's decrepit, dry body, whisper, move its jaws, to assume is the words that you can hear being uttered in your heads, until finally it becomes weaker and weaker. Its body no longer really gripping you, but more like hanging on there. And then you feel like as you blink, and the kobold that was trying to move on finally did, in your arms. A few moments pass, and you do confirm that the bones are no longer moving. There is no more thing that the kobold is mimicking or trying to do.
Kalis finds a. This is like an opening in in the cave, right, where sun is kind of coming down through the.
No,
through a gap, or?
There are no suns. This is a place completely devoid of sunlight. It is only a subterranean open area. It's a subterranean plane.
Kalis just kind of softly rests the bones on the grass.
As you place them onto the grass dims a bit as you put the body in, and then regains its full color. And suddenly you see, quite rapidly, the bones seem to lose whatever strength it had. And within a good minute or so, scales chip and break like twigs, and eventually get consumed by the yellow grass.
Kalis kind of looks at the Drow researcher. I do believe that he was what happened to the Drow who lived here. A slave who simply wanted to go home. Perhaps that was his wish.
He seems to think well, might be correct. Well, she looks around. Never seen this kind of fauna before. I'll make some samples.
Flora.
Them.
Flora. Fauna is animals. Flora.
Oh, yeah, flora. Yeah. Fuck, I didn't forget. There's flora that I haven't seen before, and I will collect some samples, and then I'll look for this beetle. There's plenty of space here. Maybe it should be somewhere here.
I'll help.
You can.
So, well,
Then I'm go. Okay, then it's time. Then it's time for me to do something. So I'm not gonna do anything big. Don't worry. I'm just gonna do pharaonic gaze to see any life signs nearby, because we just had this whole moment. Maybe pharaonic gaze can give me an answer.
roll me D100.
Oh no, D100.
Yeah.
70. I'll take it. So like,
You look around and you see you see golden silhouettes, what you assume are kobolds by the hundreds. Flash freeze moment as these kobold shades to be enjoying themselves in the grass, running, playing, just living in the moment. The shades do not move. It's all, well, resembles kind of just a picturesque painting with golden silhouettes in the grass, laying or standing, jumping. But besides that, nothing.
oh, I see that its memories are manifesting for my gaze. Interesting. Do the memories form a path of some sort? Can I trace it to somewhere else?
By the way it looks, no, it is well, from where you're looking for, you basically can see a good like 600 feet in the grass in most of the directions, and basically around the lake is where you see the actual shades. Looking around, you don't see any other sources of light. Well, not only that. Okay, so you're in this place. You have your expert, but that doesn't mean you cannot also look for potentially the beetle yourself. If you wish to, wait, patiently explore, you can. But if you also want to try to figure out if you can find the beetle, if signs or the actual beetle, you can roll me investigation.
Well, that's why I use Running Gate to see if I can pick up the lifestyle of the beetle. But hey, this memories is also a nice touch. So I'm gonna also investigate because
Besides looking for a beetle, anybody wants to do anything, please.
I'm helping the drow lady in that, and also looking for the beetle as well.
no, I'm not gonna look for the beetle.
No, I am,
No,
because the
but
drow lady's going to be looking for it.
I mean, you don't need to dedicate only one person to look for a beetle. It's not
okay. Because if he has memories here, that means there might be a kobold civilization nearby. Time to find any hints of that. So I'm gonna.
Somehow I get the feeling that any civilizations here have been long gone.
I know, but hints.
Okay, so yeah, those who wanna, if you wanna look for potential civilization of maybe tribes or anything else in the plains, Grimcloak, roll me investigation, and of course, if everybody else content with their beetle looking, can also
Nice.
hey. Nihilum, Kalius, you beetles, anything else?
Yeah, Nilum would actually just once walk up to Kalis and say, I actually disagree with you. I think you are a kind man. And then look for the beetle herself. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kalius? Beetle looking? Anything else? Alias. Oh no, he's a.
Yes, I am
Oh.
here.
Oh, so, Grimcloak looks for any signs of kobold civilization. The rest are looking for the beetle. You.
I think I'll go with Grim on this one.
Alrighty, roll me an investigation, or if you want, you can give Grimcloak advantage. And with that, give me a second. I'll grab it. I want some water.
So, do you want to do it yourself, or do you want to give me an advantage because I have +7? Huh?
Yeah,
Adva-
I have
advantage?
+2. So
Okay,
you
then
take
I'll roll
the
again. I'll take the advantage. That makes me very happy. Water. A little kitty wants to sleep on my lap.
Aw.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, man. If
No.
he wants to sleep on your lap, you have to. I mean, it's the law of the cat.
Yes. He gave me advantage, and well,
Give you advantage and a cat on the lap.
I think we can chase out the sad music as well.
So,
You sure?
change it back to do.
let's start with something
Bling,
depressing.
bling.
If you thought this wasn't depressing, it will be soon. So, you, Grimcloak, and Elias.
Grim got
25.
a 25 thanks to my advantage that I gave him.
Надо посмотреть, пожалуйста. So, Grimcloak, Kalius, you wander away from the group, but still somewhere easily to spot, as there is a waterfall to make sure that you know where you need to go as a landmark. You stumble a good mile away from the waterfall, wandering, seeing if there's any actual structures, signs of a civilization. Can you not hear me?
We can.
Okay.
We were making fun of you speaking your language.
Yeah, Lithuanian. Wow, how funny. So,
Haha, foreigner, not American.
Couldn't be me.
Haha.
Being as how there's only 2 Americans in here.
Yeah, that's why it's funny.
So, you do eventually, after a good 30-40 minutes of wandering in basically very equal ground, you stumble upon a clearing of black dirt. And inside of it you can see, well, a hole in the ground. And in front of the hole there is an obsidian-like greatsword shoved into the soil. Does anybody know Undercommon from the both of you?
Let's double check my languages.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Yeah. So, you see this 5.5, 6 foot long, basically obsidian great sword, masterfully made. You can guess that it's probably made by the Drows, by the way it looks. And, well, looking at the hole, you see a very open cavern below that you don't know how deep it is, but it is like 40 by 50 feet wide, that is decked out with kobold skulls, small and big.
Not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Shut the fuck up. Motherfucker's gotta do Anakin now.
Every chance he gets.
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
At least we aren't at least we don't have to deal with a lot of sand.
So far.
Bonk. Anyhow. So, we don't see there's undercommon written on the sword. There is a hole that's a cavern with many skulls in.
Yeah.
Genocide. A retaliatory action. Or the original conquering. We do not know. Kilias?
Kalis is kind of just looking at the longsword. You think this was made by the Drow or the kobolds?
Drow, definitely by its size. No kobold can easily wield this.
We have met kobolds who can easily wield this.
Mayhaps, but
Blester.
you might be too far away for that. We're a mile away, remember?
Yeah, you're very...
A mile away?
Yeah, you're...
100 feet away,
Kalis
at
kind of
least.
says it out loud anyway, like expecting them to be nearby.
He just like, he didn't realize he walked for like 40 minutes. They didn't...
A mile in 40 minutes?
Because you were like not like walking one direction, kind of just looking around, seeing. So you kind of zigzag the area.
Oh,
Right.
well, yeah. That makes sense. I didn't realize this area was that large.
It is. You don't see the end still. You just kind of like. It's mess.
It is a field.
It is a feel as long as I can see.
Okay. Araxis,
Yes.
I cast Detect Magic.
The blade exudes intense sources of evocation and necromancy schools of magic. And the very pit and the soil that is barren of all life, it also exudes insane amounts of necromancy.
That is a lot of necromantic energies.
Could it be that if somebody tries to pull the sword, the skeletons will rise from the ground?
Mayhaps the sword
Maybe Blester
binds
knows
their
how to use
souls.
this language.
Mayhaps the sword binds their souls into eternal agony. Yes, we need Blester to translate this.
Or perhaps the Drow knows Undercommon.
Most likely.
Most likely.
I shall remain here. You get the rest.
I'll head over to Blester and the Drow.
Sure. So, Buster, you and the Drow take like a good few minutes, collect all the samples that you really want of this new flora, and then eventually she satisfied with all the hastily written research and samples collected, looks back at you and says, okay, fine, the beetle now. And starts to just, well, gives you a quick summary for all of you to look for scales of, well, gold, because this beetle's supposed to have golden scales. Basically dried up pouches that would basically resemble a beetle. That could be their droppings. Also, maybe basically gives you like a list to look for, a very impromptu guide on how to hide any beetles, and kind of tells you all to go on your own plot of ground and just start looking. Takes you about 4 minutes until the drow whistles sharply and she raises what seems to be a very finicky carapace piece.
Yeah.
And she says, gold. They're native here. Keep looking. And then she goes back to the ground and keeps searching. So, 40 minutes pass. And, well, I assume Blester fucking fast walks back. And yeah, you basically see all of them looking through the grasses and hopefully finding the beetle they're looking for.
I mean, Callius comes back.
Yeah, at least.
Bluster, we have found a sword with undercommon script on it.
Ah.
Do you happen to know that language?
Yes, but I know enough of it. Yes, I do. What did you needed me, one of us to translate it? I point between me and the drow.
Kalis nods. Grim seems to think it is infused with necromantic magic, so better to be safe than sorry.
Give me 10 minutes and I'll tell you all about it. But first I'm gonna read what's on the sword.
Well, they didn't pick up the sword, so you need to travel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll pick Blester up and it'll just
You pick me up and run me like an American football.
And fucking Kalis with a Blester, he's going 40, 30, 20.
You know which beam I'm picking up
It's
the.
over to the thing spikes me on the sword.
Hey, I'm picking up the beam like, nah, and then so, pick up badass sword. Nah. Pick up Lester. Here's his face on this.
So
Kalis just be like, go long, Grim. Go long, Grim. Get some good spin on that halfling throw.
Okay, I'll roll my +2 athletics to see if I can grab him, or my +2 acrobatics to see if I can catch him.
Grim, I'm joking.
I know. I'm following the joke up. Anyway.
choking now. Count that forward now.
Here comes Mahat with a steel chair.
Okay, so it takes you a good, 5 minutes. You bring Blister back, And I assume you didn't pick up the sword, Grimcloak, right?
I may have drew some sort of some circle in front of it, but that's it.
Fair enough. Making sure. So, yeah, Bluster, you basically see this, well, 5.5-foot obsidian greatsword shoved into this blackened ground, and in front of it there's a hole with a bunch of kobold skeletons, young and old. Yeah.
Oh, good God! It's as big. It's bigger than I am. Oh, that's quite the find. And then I start observing the
is-
writing on it.
That is precisely why we decided the language should be translated before we try to pull it out of the pile of kobold skulls.
It's probably a very good idea.
So, as you look at the scripture on the side of the blade, you realize that it is not like encased, like not made by artisans as part of the design, but it is etched on the blade, the flat blade side. And under common, you can read, I will never forgive myself for betrayal, friend. I will remember you till the rest of my days. May you and your little ones find ease at Pharasma's hall.
Is there a signature at the end?
No.
Signed, Keanu Reeves.
Oh my god, a wholesome big chungus!
The guy who ruined Cypherpunk.
Shut the fuck up.
So,
Oh,
do you relay this information to us?
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
It seems like whoever had this sword last greatly regretted what happened, what it was used for. But for what that's apart from the obvious, the question is what for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull the sword.
I was about to do something myself, but go ahead.
You grip the sword and you feel whole metal sensation grip your hand. You pull it out. It is heavy. And for a second you feel the weight, and it is heavy, but it's not that heavy. Something is wrong about this blade. Can you roll me an insight check?
20 total.
It is heavy, not because of its weight in metal, but its weight. Blade is heavy in your hands, and whenever you swing it, there's almost a delay with each swing, where you feel your muscles tense and do the motion. But after each delayed arc, you see the arc that your sword makes is blackened in this shroud that seems to have small little claws and teeth residing in it. The shroud appears for but a moment before disappearing into nothingness.
Is there anything in the pile of bones now that the sword is pulled out?
Well, you look around, you look at the hole. The bones are still there. Nothing has changed. Something that occurred around you? Nope. Everything is the same. But the sword is now out of the ground and in Kalius's grasp.
Nothing appears to be disturbed.
Kalius, can you roll me a religion check with advantage?
You know, if I had a nickel for every time this barbarian, like, collected the souls of the dead from a genocide, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Nat 20.
Damn.
Damn.
22 total.
You look around, making sure nothing has popped up, no threats, no nothing. When you met with the silence of your companions, you look back at the blade. You look at the etching as you see it fades into nothing. And you see the obsidian metal like a mirror reflecting your own visage. And then you hear a voice, sharp and impaling, voice of Rhett. A note of reminiscent of what he said but a few hours ago. In all likelihood, in the end, you'll have to kill her. And as you look at the sword becomes heavier. Yet you feel the sword with its heaviness becomes stronger.
It's a sword that becomes stronger with the more emotional trauma you have.
You realize, well, you're not too far off, as you rolled naturally. You realize that this sword feeds on guilt, on doubt, on some sort of negative emotion. And the more deeper the rooted that emotion is to the wielder, the stronger the blade is. Would you like to swing again?
Serious moment. You can see Kalis kind of looks at his reflection in the obsidian blade of that sword. And he kind of raises it up in an arc. And swings it down. Just barely stopping before it hits the dirt.
The doubt in your mind and in your hilt of the things you will have to do manifest in an extremely slow arc. It takes you seconds before the actual muscles that are tensing against the blade finally let the sword swing, and the shroud is so viscous and vile you cannot see anything through it. Only contours small lines that resemble the stars. But within the stars, you focus at the arch, at the shroud's darkness. You can see a 5-headed dragon becoming ever closer. Before the shroud fades. And, well, yeah, this blade is fucking weird.
Sorry, I was typing something funny. Anyway. Okay, well, while that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to do one more thing.
Ah.
I would like to cast Running Gaze again.
Alright.
And I would look like the pit of the skeletal kobolds to see if there's anything lingering in there, anything that's still trying to cling back to life or something like that.
No, the pit is empty. However, you do see the pit, the hole, almost like a small waterfall. You see silver light-esque shroud web engulfed, like small waterfalls trickling down to the water hole, to the hole. And looking where the sword is, there lies a kobold of golden light. Its head shoved into the dirt, its back arched. The sky, and above it you see a towering 7-foot tall creature of silver, well, a silver shade with a massive great sword, similar length and size of the one that Alias wields. It's pretty easy to discern that this is the moment of execution. Of whom exactly, you have no clue, but it left quite a bit of an imprint.
Left a huge imprint.
What's your problem?
Even so long, its memory still remains.
Yet to be surprised.
Everything leaves footprints.
Okay. And here I was hoping to give one of them a Neil purpose, but it just doesn't feel right. Your Justice Mask.
Leave the dead to their rest. They have been in servitude long enough.
Maybe one day we will find a corpse that would wish to
There were plenty
help
of
us.
Drow in the ravine.
We will see. I still look around the place a bit, and then it's like, well, how eerie it might be. There's no sign of the beetle here. And here I was hoping that maybe the wish of the kobold would lead its essence here of some sort of way. I was mistaken.
It was a good shot, and I'm sure this will come in use eventually.
Though in the future, may I suggest me having to magically take a look at it before you actually touch it?
After you said what the translation was, the sword and I do not think we could be more aligned. There was no danger in picking it up.
You'd be in my line of work. You should always be the most cautious
In
when
my line
picking
of
up
work,
things.
being too cautious leaves you dead.
Your sword doesn't happen to talk to you by any chance, right?
I would not say the sword talks to me. But whatever enchantments are in the sword, they certainly listen.
Do you mind if I ask mine about yours?
Are we rejoined?
I assume you would be.
Okay. I was just didn't pay attention to that because also the music has not been updated. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, we
yeah,
already
yeah.
moved. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back to the cheerful music. Do 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 do.
I
I
don't
can
think there's cheerful music for today.
I could put up some fucking stupidly cheerful music, but it's stupid.
Here comes the sun.
Kalis will shrug
KKK list? Oh no.
non-committally
Oh
to
no.
Nihilum, kind of holding it out for Nihilum and her sword to inspect.
You should make them
Alright.
touch tips.
Shut up.
Ah, no.
Hmm,
The
okay.
age gap, Lester. Do I look like Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, you look like Leonardo, the blue turtle.
The Regio.
Oh,
I think our age gap is like 10 years, it's still less than. But, well, anyways.
a 10-year gap is still not enough for Leonardo DiCaprio.
She's younger
Okay,
than me. What the hell?
anyways.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so she takes out the blade and just kind of holds it relatively close to his sword and just asks Ines, do you recognize this sword? Or can you tell me anything about it?
You see a sudden beam of orange light flashes, making patterns, lines, circles. And Soul replies instantaneously. Observation complete. What would you like to know about this blade?
Well, its name, its origin, how it's best used. If there's any. She kind of looks at Kalis once, if there's any catch to it.
The name is Doubt. Its wielder was an Oathbreaker paladin. Name unknown. Species human. It seems to think for a second. It needs more data. However, when it comes to the blade's properties, the greater the wielder's doubt, depression, malice, hatred, attachment. It strengthens the blade, but it has its downside. As the stronger the blade it becomes, the slower it becomes. Well,
What do you mean by slower?
I am physically unable to move it as quickly as I would normally swing such a weapon.
I see.
It increases doubt.
No, it grows stronger with doubt.
Hmm. She thinks for a moment. So a sword feasting on negative emotions. I've heard of better ideas.
I will not use it often, if I need to use it at all.
One more question. What happened to his previous owner?
seems to start flashing orange lights everywhere, and you can see the entire cave in a handful of seconds gets, well, shine in this orange light. Subject is still living. Current location unknown.
I just hope they don't come back to claim it.
They left it here once already.
Calculating probability. Calculation complete. Probability of the owner returning is 0.00000.20%.
All right. All right.
The deep breath, alright.
Did the first 3 hints not tip you off, Bluster?
Already know.
I don't.
Okay.
Nihilum, do you think you know who it is?
Yeah, of course I do. I'm not... Well, anyway.
Any.
What? No way. Nobody knows who it is. It's not a character we've met before.
I don't know this man.
Who is this
Oh,
man?
so it's that one.
Who is this human oathbreaker? No,
Human Oathbreaker Paladin.
she
I've
kind
seen a
of
character like that before.
turns to get this again. Well, anything else you would like to know about it? It's yours. So
I do not think so.
well, if you do change your mind, I can always ask.
Kalis nods.
Anyways,
Any luck with the beetle?
I don't think we found it yet.
No,
You-
me
you-
neither.
You look at the drow, shakes her head.
Or it's got
And
to
you-
be somewhere.
And you're sure it's supposed to be somewhere around here? She looks at the drought.
Well, she kind of just shrugs. Well, look it for yourself. And then she gives you the only piece of, I guess, concrete evidence that the beetle that you seek is in fact here somewhere, or I guess the species. As you get like its back, like you see this golden uh, carapace that is metallic to the touch and does res- resemble the actual one of the python pieces of the scarab that you were provided by Rhett.
Hmm. Well, I suppose while we're at it, as she turns to her sword again. Is the beetle somewhere around here? Could you tell me that?
Scanning for Beetle's signature. You hear sudden buzzing sounds in your sword.
Beetles start crawling out of the sword.
The real beetles is the friends we made along the way.
Everyone except for Nihilum collapses into piles of beetles.
Christ, money.
We were beetle themed hallucinations.
Oh,
Except for Mahet. Mahet was real.
the
Oh no.
the thing crackles. The words of Beetle still stuttering in perpetuity until the whole, well, your blade seems to shut down its orange glow, and then suddenly it turns into this sickeningly dark green color. Second, where is see? Or there
Oh,
you go.
great.
That's the sword. Yeah. Let me change the music.
Fuck no.
You know,
Oh, clearly the leader sword just got a virus.
I think every single one of us should have a sword by the end of this.
No, thank
You
you.
get a sword. You get a sword. You get a sword. Everybody gets a sword.
you hear a
I'm
very polite feminine voice speak out. Hello? Hello? Child, is that you? Nihilum?
Yeah?
Uh, something about the voice is a bit unsettling. Kinda sounds like your mom, but also not really. Yet there is this instinctual, tingly sensation in your spine. Listen to this voice.
Hello? Who are you?
Child, you know who I am. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, oh, I didn't think I would meet you so it's an honor to meet you.
An honor, you say? Well, we always knew each other, my young little sapling. I've been there the moment you were birthed. I've seen for your life and many other of your brothers and sisters from decades, centuries, millennium past. It's good to talk again, even though this is a bit, crude. I suggest you stop with the Drow's escalations on looking for my emissaries. They've been hunted down to extinction years ago.
What is it?
Oh, right. Why were they hunted?
The Drow literally hears that. It just kind of a bit stooped, just kind of sighs as he fully stands up and just kind of walks up to all of you, just kind of listening. They were wish granters, child. You could ask anything your heart desired, and they would have provided. Some have claimed centuries of artificial life. Some have procured harems of exotic life. Some have obtained riches. In riches you are familiar and unfamiliar with. Some ask for happiness. Some asked for death of their enemies. And about 11 years ago, the final emissary perished.
How come you're talking to me right now? What's different now?
Because you have one of the blades that was forged by my father that was potentially, well, one of my gifts or belonged to one of my siblings. You asked the proper question at the proper time, and I picked up your transmission. Pretty simple, really.
See, well, honestly, we were planning on looking for you, but now I'm...
Child, I am dead. I do not possess a body. I have not possessed a body for the longest of time. I was slain by my father. My screams echoed into the earth. And now I am the wind that guides the world. My blood are these rivers. Sometimes reach the surface that people, young and old, stupid and wise, get their nourishment from.
Why? Why were you murdered?
There is a buzzing sensation in your sword until a sigh comes through. My father had a moment of weakness. I do not know why. I did not question it. I listened to him and I loved him. Even when my body, cold and broken, hit the floor, I did not feel any hatred for him. Just confusion.
Question: do we hear this as well? Just Neelam.
No, you all hear. This is like a fucking radio transmission. It's like
Uh,
somebody popped a radio to the wrong channel.
Okay.
As she says that specific sentence, Needham's face just kind of goes very pale and just kind of...
That is not.
She kind of stares at the ground.
Another one who is technically dead. Wait. Then we know where to find her, if we know where the body is.
My poor children. The world has changed so much. My body, the final pieces of it, have decayed millennium ago, before your great empires that you now fully know, adore, or hate had been even conceptualized. There is one entity that could help me, but it would make a difficult choice. There is a contaminated area of forgotten Tiamat's brood that your kind do not even recognize its true power. He's been my only friend for the longest of time. Me, powerful everywhere, but nothing solid to move my will proper, while she, cornered and isolated at one spot of the world for the past 40-50 millennium, yet solid and firm.
Then I'm gonna ask a question. Wait. I need to go for my notes real quick because I'm gonna have to get the right name. Well, all the names. It's not. I think the one we are looking for. Okay. Yeah.
Titia, yes.
Yeah, Titia. This is the
Beetle lady.
yeah, the beetle lady. This is Titia. So okay. Let me double check my notes. Still, sorry. This is taking a moment. I have to scroll through my notes.
That's fine.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask it. So you are Titia, correct?
That is correct.
Well, then, apparently you would know how to stabilize the eldest. Despite not having a body, it means we have to find this friend of yours to find a way to help you back in the realm of the living so we can help the eldest from not fully submitting to death. Correct?
He's alive?
More like clinging to the gates of death to not go past it. Barely living, barely dead.
There is another buzzing sound. The hue on the green intensifies. I remember when my body hit the floor. I remember he calling my name. I felt the rumbling. How does he live? How? Why? No. You hear another buzzing sensation. Oh, right. I know what. She wants to say I, but then she buzzes again. We. No. You. You need to help me. I will not let my brother die. He still lives. I will make pact with my friend, the spawn of Tiamat. Bring me to her.
And how will we do that exactly?
Her place is in the material plane. Somewhere in the world, in the main continent. Let me think. I know where it is. She seems to be mumbling. Out of either confusion or panic, or maybe the combination of both.
Then Grimcock is going to ask, is there a way to give you a temporary form of some sort?
Alas, no. But I do believe. Give me a moment. There is this a sigh. Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend, but I had to do it. I know where she is. She is in the plains. I know exactly where she is. She then buzzes again, and then you see your thing turns your sword, Nihilum, turns back to orange, and you hear the old voice with confidence saying, "Grid coordinates received, location understood, and copied."
All right, we have coordinates.
Yes, you're correct, milady. I can provide direct directions into the place of who gave me these coordinates. You hear buzzing again. No matter. Coordinates have been received, awaiting orders.
She looks around.
The Drow looks a bit sad. Hunted to extinction.
I
Such
mean,
is
if
the
you'd have
fate.
something, that's powerful in your possession, then it would only make sense.
I suppose.
At least you have evidence of.
Or
Oh, we both talk.
the beetles and their power seems to have torn this island apart. Perhaps it was for the best.
Understand.
That's great.
On the plus side, you have evidence of their existence now, and we have the hint of the goddess who created them.
And you can also have me as a cross-reference as well.
She squints her eyes at you, Blister. I suppose I do. Anyway, I shall. If
You're
you
welcome
don't.
to join us.
No.
Pretty sure we'll have plenty of other things to come across.
Oh no. I promise my wife I will be back by lunch.
Mm. Alright, then.
She looks again desperately through the field, and then sighing, she twists.
You have a way back?
Well, as you say that, she has out of her pouch put on what seems to be a simple silver ring. She puts it on and holds it tight, and then all of a sudden, these pinkish, purplish runes start to glow as she basically disintegrates into purplish mist and just disappears.
Didn't even get to say goodbye. Oh, it's for the best. We have our location.
If later on, if I ever find her in any of those gatherings for adventurers and archaeologists and such, as drop her a hello.
And if we fail, we shall be the one who we dug up in the next big archaeological campaign.
Well, then we better not fail.
Well, it's
I like the fact that the Nihilum's highlight is literally just more lesbians. Let's go.
the lesbians. So what? Everyone's surprised the lesbians is just me. Yes, they exist. So what?
Oh, we do have. How do we think the our dragon's going to take to actually having physical coordinates? You think they know that?
Well, only one way to find out, I suppose. And she kind of tries to collect herself, stop fidgeting with the sword.
Should we at least get out of this place first?
Right. Well, how do we do that?
Backtrack.
We
Go
did
back
fall
up.
for a good while.
Ew.
Perhaps there's a way back up through, presumably, the Drow stronghold.
Additionally, there is also the fact that you can just summon the Void Dragon.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You literally do
But-
have the fucking the keys.
What if it tries to phase through? Will only one person phase through with it?
I believe that was just like a spiteful choice because the dragon doesn't like Kalis.
Aw.
Nice. Ah,
That's
Okay.
just correct, Nihilum.
Yeah, I suppose so. Who has the car keys right now?
You do.
Ah,
So from now on, the horn. So from now on, the horn doesn't go poof. From after
Come on,
it goes.
okay.
The
I'll hold
fucking
up the horn so that you can see the lights on your void dragon
oh
go on
my
in the parking lot.
god! I now cannot unsee. You just fucking collect the fucking car keys, and it goes boop boop, and it's the fucking eyes that blink.
exactly.
I was thinking the tip of the horn, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Needham turns around. Is everybody ready?
Nods.
All right. She kind of mumbles under her breath. They will see if Matt is able to find us now, but... And she calls for the Void Dragon.
Yeah. After a few moments, you see from the ceiling manifest a glorious creature and presents itself in front of all of you, turning its wings proudly.
And I will say it. We've spoken with Titia. We know how to bring her back. Apparently, she perished long, long ago.
And we have the coordinates to find a good friend of hers. Do you know how to handle coordinates? I assume you do.
I assume you do.
I mean, it's a void dragon. Would be rather pathetic if
I
not.
imagine you ask a question and immediately answer for it. Of course you do. How silly of me. Okay, so, Oh. Okay. Whew.
You alright?
No, I'm sorry. Just I cannot just see like fucking Nihilum like being very puppy eyed. You know how to handle coordinates, and then immediately the most smug face. Of course you do. like it's literally the fucking who's a good boy. You're a good one. Fucking immediate answer. Anyway.
Who's a good void dragon?
Who's a good boy dragon? Who wants belly rubs? Ooh. Anyway. Yeah. I assume you present your blade to the void dragon.
Yes.
It fucking bites into it. Like a chew
What?
toy. And pulls it out of your fucking fingers. It thinks for a second, looks at it, and then spits it onto the ground.
She kind of picks it up, kind of shaking the
It does not have any.
saliva off of it.
It doesn't have any saliva, surprisingly.
She still does the motion of that.
Yeah. So, with a sudden look of its eyes, the dragon seems to be reluctantly looking up the sky.
Oh, the ceiling.
Yeah, the sky, the ceiling. Well, technically, it is pitch fucking dark. So, something tells something you can sense or see that the dragon knows where it needs to go. So, everybody's climbing on board.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With the very front. Because I have the car keys.
I cannot unsee fucking Nihilum being like one of those fucking people who showcase a car, but it's just Nihilum with a void dragon. Check out my ride.
This one slaps this.
Yeah.
Can't fit so
slaps
many
the side of
friends.
Void Dragon. This one's got built-in GPS. It can handle coordinates.
And it can actually get you to places from memory. Anyway. So. So. You all climb on and you travel. And now I need to find the fucking... I really would like to get this. Let's see. I think this should work. Okay. So you go into the familiar void as the dragon takes flight. Takes you about a minute of flight. And then you fade out from you fade out from the void, the purple and the blue, into the land covered of mists. It is foggy, as far as the eye can see. It is, well, the beginning of a day.
Is it Loch Ness Monster?
Well, no, you're not in the ocean. You look below, and whenever the mist slightly parts, you see you're about maybe 150, 200 feet from the ground. And what you see is extremely almost sickeningly bright yellow grass.
That grass again.
No, this one is different. This looks nasty.
It's dead. Like dead grass.
No. Can Bluster, and only Bluster, because Bluster would know this by any means of your background, roll me a nature and a history check.
This is nature. I'm gonna reroll the history. There we go.
Oh god, I nearly shut down on PC. Oh,
Why would you have your shut down PC button so close to anything?
Bluster. You look upon the land. You see the plains. It's kind of like the Golden Plains, however, it's a bit different. It's misty, and just by the hints that you start to see in the north, the rocky terrain, and the very oddly specific yellow marshes, you remember hearing, reading, and well, listening first-hand accounts about this place. The place is simply referred as the Yellow Marsh, found in the southeast side of the Doran Empire, a mere few dozens of miles until the Scorched Line. The local mythos states that there is an entity that lives in those yellow marshes, always a female entity, young, old, or in between, that, well, adventurers and daredevils who try to dispose of this creature meet their demise in a cocktail of diseases and plagues, while those who are humble and in desperate need of aid, said illnesses or diseases, might be granted grace by this entity of the Yellow Marshes, also known as the Yellow Lady.
Oh no.
Oh, well, that definitely tracks as to where to come to help. I'm gonna let him know about that. It's like, not exactly good things about this place, but we're here for help. So hopefully that helps us.
Oh. The creature, the void dragon, is flying above it all. Nihilum, it's up to you to decide if you want to land or...
I'd say so. Probably like slowly start to descend.
You plop
On the road.
on the road?
There's a road, right?
Well,
Road.
where you are in the surrounding area, there is no road. You can look for it.
That would be nice if we could.
I disagree. I say we just go land where we have to go. Much easier.
Fine. Not my fault if we all get consumed by the marsh. Then.
Okay.
Guess we'll just land.
Okay.
It's either we land in the marshes or we just land the road, walk through the marshes, and get the same problem anyway.
Well, you land into the marshes. These almost 3-foot tall, pointy grass that are smelling of pungent odors and covered in this thick, viscous ichor. As you land, you can see the whole place is surrounded by mist. And then you hear a soft voice echo through the mist. At the same time, Nihilum, the weapon of yours forcefully changes coloration from the familiar orange to green. The voice in the mist calls to all of you here. How dare you enter my domain unannounced, and at this early, have you no manners? The weapon replies with the Titia's voice. I am so sorry to intrude, but I must ask of your help. I must have a body, and I would like you to make me a temporary one. The mists intensify. The void dragon suddenly starts to jitter and starts to snarl, looking all around. Can all of you roll me a perception?
Come on, guys, don't fail me now. This means they will fail me now. Unless they don't want me to fail me, I'm trying to trick them into not failing me.
But you're also laying your plans out for it.
The dice behaved.
I'm gonna re-roll that real quick.
What is the
Not much better.
Can't find the thing for. Oh, there you go! It's the buddy! It's the buddy that I wanted to play with ever since the silly campaign with the paladins.
Okay, kitty, go lay down. Hey, you wanna come on? Huh?
So, Kalius! You see, the
Ugh.
dragon is becoming anxious, and it's a void dragon. What could possibly make it fear something? As you look at the mists, and then you see where the void dragon is looking, and you see 3 slender entities, about 11 feet tall, a hybrid of a beast and a human, its skin flayed and dangling. And as you look further beyond them into the mist, you can see the eyes multiplying and expanding. The voice the mist becomes unsufferable and bitter. You are my friend no longer. We haven't talked in ages. And now, out of the blue, after our last conversation, you come making demands. This shall not do, this shall not do, young child.
And Grimclark would like to speak up.
What do you want to ask?
No, I'm going to just speak up. I understand there is some sort of bad blood, but we would like to inform you of the full situation. Then maybe it will bring understanding of why things are as it now are. Is that acceptable?
No, it is absolutely not. All of a sudden, your void dragon shrieks as it suddenly sinks into the ground, leaving all of you on the grass. Either standing or prone, however you were positioned.
Then I will quickly shout, "Your mother is on the way here to destroy this world."
And why do you
Good argument,
care?
your mother.
I'm already dead. She didn't want me. And now you shall be added to the blood count of this marsh. All of a sudden, you start to hear howls. Ones of rowdy humans screaming both in sheer full ecstasy and a blood-curdling pain, and a combination of a yak bellowing and a wolf howling. A horde of chimeric beasts approaches. And with that, we're gonna call it. As you are now in the domain of the Yellow Lady, the forgotten child of Tiamat. So, anything you want to say before we're shutting it down with no survivors this recording? And also, next session, roll 20.
I'm gonna have to
Maybe
find
it
the body.
wasn't the wisest thing to sass an eldritch being.
We
Wrong.
didn't.
Why is every campaign family drama?
We didn't sass it.
Well, you know what they say about D&D? It's cheap therapy.
This is what we're going to do.
I feel
She
like I'm
said
just
Eldritch
reliving my
energy.
trauma.
Listen, Neelam, you're not gonna be the
You
first
say
or the
that.
last.
Yay.
Yay! Anyway,